in imminent danger. Recently, Ji Lao has personally brought reinforcements to Zhejiang City. March 15. After observation, the sun generates energy storms. Since this year, experts predict the energy factors of Blue Star will become more and more abundant. Increase in energy factor. It will also raise the limit of strong individuals that Blue Star can accommodate. According to expert predictions, 50 years later, the Blue Star will accommodate powerful deities. By then, the deities descended upon Blue Star. What should be the fate of my human race? Can we trust the experts? Lin Yu Dark Path. The situation for the human race is a bit dire right now. Why didn't we notice so many big news stories before? There have been more and more major events happening these past few months. That's strange. What does this have to do with me? I can't intervene now. It's still important to continue improving one's cultivation, he murmured to himself, finished watching the news. The 2 gold stones obtained today. Placed it on the table. The great one is the gifted gold and stone. The small one is the skill stone. Pick up 2 gold stones. Place it on the center of the forehead. Suddenly, the information about the skill Jinshi surfaced in my mind. Talent, puppet manipulation. A class talent, concentrating mental energy into a line, able to remotely control specially designed puppets. The distance is positively correlated with the strength of mental power. Skill, self-detonation, 5th tier skills. Compressible internal energy self-detonation. Self-destruct damage is equivalent to 3 times the user's combat power. The range depends on the amount of energy in the body. This day, the talent reward was reserved for Lin Fan. Isn't he the one who keeps saying he has no talent? Now there is. As for this self-destruct skill, I just need to learn it. Once I learned to clone myself, I mastered it. Moreover, it is a 5th tier skill. Although the 6th level self-destruct skill is no longer useful. Lin Yu put away the gifted jade stone, holding the self-destruct skill talisman on the forehead. Silent learning. In an instant, the skills in my hands turn into a beam of light, dove into the center of the brow. Then he had a sudden thought. The energy within the body begins to compress rapidly. This made his body start to tremble. So he quickly stopped compressing the energy. What if it explodes? It'll be disastrous. The clone has gained another trump card. Lin Yu smiled and said, now he holds 3 aces in his hand. Tanyuan Hitai, Sparrow Steps, Self-Destruction. If the first 2 whole cards are not useful, then we can only use the 3rd trump card. Let the clone self-destruct. The main body escapes. Not considered a good method, right? What is Lin Fan doing now? Thinking of Lin Fan. He suddenly had a headache. This guy is so good at slacking off. Since he entered the academy, it has already been an hour. The system prompt sound has stopped coming through. Lin Fan felt discouraged. It's time to cheer him on. Chapter 82. Lin Fan on a blood high. Established outside, it turned into ruins. The ground is scattered with the corpses of the blood-eyed rat monsters. Lin Fan was standing on the rooftop of a tall building, looking down, fiddling with the wristwatch. It seems like dialing a phone. Lin Yu did not wake him directly, but secretly glanced over his watch. Strangely in my heart, where did this guy get that watch? Let me see. Who is he really on the phone with? Lin Fan finally got through on the phone. Beep, beep, beep. Before long, the call went through. On the wristwatch's face, projecting a figure dressed in a yellow uniform, a young man wearing a steel helmet. At this moment, The man is riding a flying hoverboard, moving through the city. After he answered the phone, the first sentence spoken, Lin Yu was left speechless. "Hello, are you full?" The delivery person runs fast. "On the way to deliver the meal. Do you need anything? Please deliver a meal to me. Mister, you can order takeout. Did you package the software? Correct order. I can't take food orders here. I have already placed the order. But what about my meal? Excuse me, sir. What is your name? I'll check that for you. My name is Lin Fan. Good sir. Please wait a moment. I'll check it out. This delivery person. Stop the flying skateboard. Open the software. Input Lin Fan's name. After the results came out, he made an ugly expression, but it soon changed to professional smile. "Mister, found it. Your order is too far away. We are unable to deliver it. You can click for a refund. Thank you. The platform will refund you as soon as possible. Sorry. Sorry for the inconvenience. I sincerely apologize. Goodbye." The next moment, the call ended. Lin Yu was stunned. A delivery worker can have the qualities of customer service. It's truly a rare sight to see. He is very curious. Which city did Lin Fan order takeout from? There is no takeout service available. Lin Fan was so angry that he stomped his feet. Unable to deliver. Can't it be delivered? Why not just say it directly? I wasted 3 days waiting in vain. He thinks of himself in this harsh life in the wilderness. A wave of frustration washed over me. I really miss the life we had back then. At that time, we were carefree. At that time, we were carefree. Every day, just help me buy some food. Just clean up. Those times were truly happy. This question, have you forgotten me again? Went to the academy. Just forget it. Your dear brother Lin Fan. You are too heartless. I've worked so hard. You won't come and praise me either. Tell me, is there a task in life that hasn't been completed? I'm hungry again. Forget it. Today I won't be obedient. I want to counterattack the city. A grand feast. Complaining for a while. Just about to get up and leave. Suddenly, Lin Yu's voice echoed in his mind. I was originally going to test you. The purpose is, see how your nature is. The result disappointed me. What a pity. Lin Yu deliberately shook her head and sighed. This sound fell into Lin Fan's ears, making him feel a bit ashamed. This question tests me. I go. Lin Yu saw him bow his head in shame. It's time for the main meal. It seemed that a pump appeared in his hand. Lin Fan is like a deflated balloon. I only heard him say, I'm reaching out to you this time. I need to tell you, congratulations on completing the task. Because you exceeded the task, so I plan to reward you with a talent stone. As for the craftsmanship, don't rush. I have already started searching on my end. Wait for me to learn, sharing skills with you again. Lin Yu's words. It is both sincere and emotional. Lin Fan was moved to tears. This question. You are too good to me. How can I repay you? Lin Fan looked up at the sky with a face full of emotion, as if there were a shadow of Lin Yu in the sky. That is the deity he worships. Lin Yu looked at him like this. I think your reaction is a bit excessive. He smiled and said, You continue to hunt monsters these days. I'll give you a task worth 1,000,000. I'll contact you next time. You just come to Nanjian City. I will hand over the talent stone to you. Believe that by that time, I should learn a skill now. You've really worked hard these past few days. For our bright future, you can only endure some hardship for now. This question. I am not suffering. I am very grateful to you. You are too good to me. Don't worry. I will definitely work hard to defeat monsters. Don't let this question disappoint you. Lin Fan felt grateful for Lin and longed to hold Lin Yu in my arms. Gave a fierce kiss. Seeing him like this, Lin Yu pressed the road. No way. So easy to fool. Aha. I have high hopes for you. Keep going. This question. I went to fight monsters. Haven't you eaten yet? Let's go eat something first. Gained strength. To better fight monsters. Today I'm giving you half a day off. Lin Yu said. This question. I will definitely work hard. For our bright future. I'm just exhausted. Can die. Fell to death. I also want to complete the task you assigned to me. Pay attention to safety. Don't push yourself too hard. This question. You look down on me. Lin Fan tilted his head. Questioned. Lin Yu slightly straightened up. Xiao Dao. I don't look down on you. Then don't say anything discouraging. Don't give me a holiday either. I am going to fight monsters. Lin Fan insisted. Lin Yu was helpless. I can only agree to his request. On the right path. This motivated Lin Fan. Surprisingly good. He smiled. Regained consciousness. We need to hurry up. Learned a skill. Lin Fan is still waiting over there. But what skill should I learn? He knocked on the table, lost in thought. After a long time, he looked ahead, muttering to oneself, this alchemy skill. It's necessary to learn a bit. At least the library. No relevant books. May I ask senior brother for advice? He is a person of great virtue and talent, especially in weapon forging. Radical master level. By the way, the art of puppet making. You should learn as well. Otherwise, this puppet's manipulation talent is refined. It's no longer useful. So, now let's learn two skills. These are alchemy and puppet crafting. Learning a craft requires intensity. I am not intense. You can only start by learning some basic knowledge. The two courses have been confirmed. Skills that need to be learned. Lin Yu commanded the clone, looking for related books to read, to become an alchemist and a puppeteer. First, we must establish a solid foundation. In the library, there aren't many other books. Various theoretical books, but there are too many to see all. Very soon, the doppelganger has arrived. Foundation of elixirs, herbal guide, principle of essence extraction, principle of bearing, Dan Z resonance, puppet power, material analysis. Wait a moment. Dozens of books. These are all basic books. Relying on this knowledge, become an alchemist. The chances of a puppeteer are very slim. But after reading these books, Lin Yu benefited greatly. Regarding these two crafts, understood it more deeply. The effort of having a doppelganger. Lin Yu has these two skills. There is a vague concept. Alchemy. To put it broadly, everything in the universe can be put into the furnace. To put it simply, that is according to the Dan Fang, following step by step. Just refine the elixir. However, he discovered the alchemy. It requires consuming a person's mental energy. Otherwise, it cannot be born. No wonder this world is technologically advanced. Elixirs are still quite rare. It turns out to be alchemy. We can't produce on the assembly line. Lin Yu's difficult monologue and puppetry. It's much simpler now. This puppet technique, it also requires mental effort. The principle is to harness one's own mental strength, integrating into the puppet. Endow the puppet with spirit, able to skillfully manipulate the puppet. The strength of the puppet depends on the material, the master's refining technique. Different refining techniques and materials. Strength of the puppet. It is also different. Master of puppets, even able to manipulate thousands of puppets. In legend, there is another way to break it. Restorable materials. It is said that using this material, the puppet created, referred to as the immortal puppet, Lin Yu was organizing the information in her mind regarding these two skills, gained a deeper understanding. Then he turned his gaze towards another skill, elemental clone technique, Chapter 83, perfect element cloning technique, array of the 5 elements. He commanded a portion of his clones, reading alchemy, theoretical books on puppetry, another part of the split self. Study the theory of elemental energy in books. Lin Yu's plans moving forward. It is energy transformation. Perfecting the elemental clone technique. During the inheritance, he can channel the energy within. Energy is converted into water. 2 elemental forms, water and fire. This is thanks to the flame-throwing skill. Guidance on water skills. Later there was no time. There are no corresponding attribute skills either. There was no further progress towards development of elemental clones. But now I have a book in my hand. Array of the 5 elements gave him a reminder. This is a basic formation book. Principle. It is made of 5 energy crystals with the attributes of the 5 elements. Set up the 5 elements formation. Has the power to repel enemies. Kill the enemy. The effectiveness of harming the enemy. This book, it recorded 3 formations. This is the formation of the 5 elements sword. 5 element shield formation. 5 element illusion array. The 5 elements sword formation. It is a battle formation for slaughter. Once you enter this formation, will be attacked from all directions until the energy crystal, until the energy is exhausted. 5 element shield formation can unite the 5 elemental attributes, forming interconnected links. The ever-vibrant defense shield, used to defend against enemies. The last 5 elements illusion array. It's actually a psychedelic formation, can allow those who enter it. Hallucination, lost within. If you can't find a way out, either starve to death, either die from exhaustion. The 3 major formations are not very strong. Stronger people can forcibly break the formation, but his formation, if using a doppelganger instead, energy crystal formation, isn't it possible to set up a formation anytime and anywhere? It seems this formation. You also need to learn a thing or two. Brothers, the next task is reading books related to formations. I want to learn 5. Formation of the sword array, shield formation, illusionary array. Apart, the clone received the order. Everyone put down their books. Rise and seek. Books related to formations. Is my mission. It is to learn the 5 elements clone technique. I can now separate into water and fire. Still need soil. Jin, Mu, Earth's words. You can rely on the skill of the mountain stone arm. Come to guide the insights. The properties of the other 2 elements. I can only force myself to understand. Lin Yu sat cross-legged, feeling the energy within. He summoned the arm of the mountain stone. Sudden change in internal energy. He captured this subtle change. Inspired by the heart, then he cancelled the mountain stone's arm. Start converting internal energy. Only see the energy within the body that has no attributes. Gradually undergo a change in nature towards the transformation of earth attributes. After a long time, he opened his eyes. Joy sparkled in her eyes. Became Earth clone. A moment later, a person with yellow hair, a yellow-clad Earth clone, appeared before the spirit realm. Lin Yu encounters the Earth clone, let out a sigh of relief. This step can be considered a success. Next, it's the avatars of Jin and Mu. He closed his eyes, imagining the characteristics of two types of energy, also combined with the book description of these two attributes. Gradually, he developed related concepts in his mind. Jin. Autumn belongs to the element of metal. The location is in the west. It's just the sun. A slowly descending direction. Jai Wanmu Shueng Tian. The sacred beast Behu belongs to metal. The best way to kill and conquer. Therefore, the color of gold. For white, concepts one by one, flowing through the mind. Harmony. It brings a sense of clarity. Suddenly, elements within the body, slowly turning white. This white attribute energy, very restless, fully display the aura of killing. Metallic transformation. Became. He showed a joyful expression. Silent incarnation. Indeed, a person with white hair. It is a kind of the golden doppelganger in white clothing. Appearing by my side, Lin Yu was overjoyed. Chase after victory. Continue to perceive the essence of the elements. Follow the same method. The purpose within me becomes increasingly clear. Spring belongs to the wood element, located in the east. It is a season for the growth of all things. Therefore, the color of the purpose. For the blue, green, the azure dragon is the eye of the east. Main vitality, a glimmer of realization, flowing through the heart, purpose concept, gradually taking shape. Suddenly, he opened his eyes. A faint blue light flickered from the fingertips. The attribute transformation has been completed. He silently recited the incantation for the doppelganger. Indeed, the clone appears. They quickly separated. This person with green hair, dressed in blue garments. The feeling it gives. Warm as spring. Indeed, knowledge is power. I have gained knowledge. When the water reaches its destination, the channel is formed. The transformation of the 5 elemental energies has been completed. Ling Yu felt a deep sense of emotion within. He can successfully transform out the energies of metal and wood attributes. A large part of the reason, it is the result of accumulated knowledge. With knowledge, many seemingly unsolvable problems. It will become much simpler. The book's in the library. I must read it. Ling Yu made up his mind. Next, let's practice the formation. With the formation in place. The strength of doppelgangers. It can be further enhanced. Ling Yu in a good mood. With the 5 element clones, walking towards the outside. This academy is not large. It's only about a square kilometer in total. With the spiritual power of the spirit domain, the doppelganger is within half of the academy. Will not exceed. Dissipate due to distance limits. He stood up. Let the doppelganger in the library continue reading. He brought along the elemental clone, walking towards the rock martial arts arena. The goal is to practice the 5 elements formation. Leaving the library, arrived at the Yanmu arena. Yanmu Field. It is a huge open-air platform. A transparent energy shield enveloped above. Outsiders cannot enter. Ling Yu will issue identity cards. Placed on the sensing platform. Energy shield. Suddenly, an energy portal opened. Entering the spiritual realm. Entering the rock warrior arena. He followed. The technique of the 5 elements array. Manipulating clones to practice formations. Let's start with the 5 elements sword formation. After relentless efforts, Ling Yu was quite exhausted. But the effect is not significant. There was never any success at all. Indeed, there is a significant difference between theory and practice. He was helpless. Let's continue practicing. Practice makes perfect. Let's practice all three formations together. He split into two groups of 5 elemental clones, a total of 3 groups of 15 elemental clones, distributed in various places, practicing the formation over and over again. Suddenly, a gurgling sound emerged. His expression slightly changed. Touch the belly. Sigh. I've been studying for so long now. Everyone is hungry. He finally realized it at that moment. He read books in the library all night. Let's go to the cafeteria to grab something to eat. Lin Yu rode, then walked towards the cafeteria. Arrived at the cafeteria. Take out your ID card. Place it on the sensing platform. Detected the spiritual realm of the Supreme Academy students. Please come in. In the cafeteria, very quiet, apart from robots. He is the only living person. Lin Yu is hungry. Hastily instructed. Please bring me a set meal. A buzzing sound. A robot is activated by voice. He walked up to Lin Yu. Said, "What package do you need? Any one is fine." The robot fell silent for a moment. Said, "We recommend you choose package A. This package includes set meal." The words of the robot, ignored directly by the spiritual realm. He is really hungry right now. Okay, please wait for 15 minutes. The robot went down. Lin Yu sat down on the stool, assessing the cafeteria's environment. This is a highly advanced technology and traditional style, Oriental style architecture that is unified, seemingly low-key and reserved. The interior surprisingly exudes luxury. It is the kind of architecture that is very pleasing to the eye. The more I look, the more pleasing it becomes. Lin Yu nodded. The cafeteria has a great atmosphere. Eating here. My mood has improved a lot. In 15 minutes. The dishes are served. Lin Yu looked at the table full of dishes, suddenly stunned. At this moment, the robot introduced itself. Set includes a total of 36 dishes. This first dish, it is a 6-tier unicorn flame pillar. Pork is made into. This second dish, it is from the 7-stage extreme cold crocodile, made from the flesh of the heart. And this is the 36th dish. Lin Yu's mouth was wide open. This is way too extravagant. Where did this meat come from? It's all up to the dean. Hunting spoils. He referring to an elder or revered person. It will happen every half-month. Restock the ingredient pantry. The dean is amazing. The heart trembles with shock and excitement. He picked up the chopsticks. No matter the robot, watching from the side, begin to feast joyfully. I have to say, the robot's cooking skills are quite impressive. This table is filled with 6 dishes, even ingredients of the 7th tier, handled just right. Delicious. Lin Yu eats with his mouth full of grease. Shouted with delight. A faint white light radiated from his entire body. Hoot hoot. So thrilling. Looking at the remaining delicious dishes, Lin Yu patted his round belly. I'm sorry. Stuffed. These leftover dishes. You keep it for me. I'll eat it next time, the robot said. According to the rules of the esteemed director, eat as much as you can. Try to waste as little as possible. If you can't finish it, just pour it out yourself as a warning signal. Then I'll eat a bit more, Lin Yu helplessly said. At this moment, a voice came from outside the door. Lin Yu turned to look. It turns out it's senior brother who's come. He held a wine gourd in his hand, walking the path. Still don't forget to take a sip of alcohol, he said. Leftover food. Senior brother, I'm here to eat. By the way, another order of combo A, please. This half table is not enough to eat. Sure. The robot obeys orders. Get ready to go down. Chapter 84. Not easy. The opportunity has finally arrived. The two people sit facing each other. Lin Yu questioned. Master brother, usually the dean. How much food can be stored at one time? Lin Yu is very curious inside. Before he arrived, there are only two people in the academy. You probably can't eat too much food. Elder brother laughed. There is a large warehouse in the back mountain. Half the mountain is filled with stored supplies. Just that frozen beast meat. Enough for the three of us to eat for 100 years. Lin Yu questioned. That esteemed director, why are we continuously storing food, thrown into the boudoir, was also eaten by other ferocious beasts? Why not save it up? With current technology methods, it's not a difficult thing, the senior brother said. Senior brother took a bite of the dish. Wilmer, you this day and night. What have you been up to? I am reading in the library. Master Lin Yu's answer. Master brother Weiyan, chopsticks held in hand, suddenly paused in mid-air. He felt a bit embarrassed. Yesterday he went to Nanjing. The city block has come to life. This comparison, it makes him seem too lowbrow. We can't let the junior disciple know about this. He sighed. Junior brother works so hard. As the senior brother here, everyone is feeling the urgency. Wait for me, senior brother, until I finish eating. Let me tell you about the class. Thinking that they are here to study. But I myself am not very reliable. This somewhat disappoints people's expectations. So he plans to. Today I will give a lecture to Lin Yu. As for the textbooks, just take inspiration from it. This is not a difficult task. There are so many colleges. Just find someone and ask for 2 books. Then you can teach. These are all basic university knowledge. You can learn everything at the library. He mainly teaches some secret arts of the spirit realm. Lin Yu felt a surge of excitement in his heart. Busy said, that relationship is good. Senior brother, hurry up and eat. However, if it is basic knowledge, I have already read it in the library. Then I wouldn't need to teach you. I'll teach you some secret techniques another day. I am looking forward to it. Master brother, let's eat, let's eat. Today's dish, it's exceptionally delicious. Zio Kai, not bad at all. The robot called Zio Kai said, thank you for your compliments. Zio Kai will continue to work hard. Elder brother laughed heartily. Eat at a leisurely pace. Not long after, another table of dishes has arrived. Elder brother is eating. Lin Yu tapped the table. Why are you tapping the table? Senior brother asked in confusion. Lin Yu sighed. It's nothing. I just remembered back then, the moment we met in the ruins of the old city. So much time has passed now. I really miss it. Master brother Wenyang. Sio Dao. Don't be so sentimental. Strange dry. The words are not finished. Suddenly, he noticed Lin Yu looking at him. A bit strange. Combining with what was just said about Lin Yu, he understood in an instant. This is at. Remind yourself of the opportunities. The crafty junior disciple. By the way, look at how clever Master Brother is. My memory has always been poor. Senior Brother still owes you a chance, right? However, before giving you the chance, you need to know. What am I best at? I heard someone say, the senior apprentice excels in the 6 arts, especially skilled at cultivating energy. Radical master level, Not bad. I excel at practicing cultivation, alchemy, puppetry, formation, four deer, brewing techniques. I call it the six principles. Especially skilled in cultivation. You choose a subject. This is the opportunity I want to give you. Lin Yu, after much contemplation, considering which subject to choose. After a while, he said, I want puppet mastery. This answer surprised Master Brother a bit. The art of puppetry. It is not a mainstream craft. Ordinary people are likely to. Will choose to practice cultivation technique or practice alchemy. The junior disciples answer, truly unexpected. Since that is the case, I'll give it to you. He took out a booklet, said, This is the secret of puppetry. Take it. Lin Yu excitedly took the secret manual, repeatedly expressing gratitude, and the senior brother then continued to bury oneself in eating. Very soon, senior brother, take all the dishes. Everyone eats cleanly, said, Let's go. Let's go soak in the hot springs. When thinking of Lin Yu, two big men soaking in the hot spring naked, it feels a bit uncomfortable. Quickly shook his head. Master brother, I still need to go into seclusion, understanding puppetry, with the art of puppetry, coordinating with the talent for puppet manipulation. Lingfen can also report for duty now. This can greatly improve his monster farming efficiency. For him, very meaningful. As for Lingfen, I want to open a shop, the dream of living a leisurely life as a boss. It can only be delayed. Everything is based on the interests of the entity. That's all. You should go into seclusion first. Wait a few days. I will come to find you again. Secret techniques only learned at certain universities. It should be given to you now. Ling Yu nodded. Thank you, senior brother. Then I'll go into seclusion first. Bung, go ahead. Giant Ling Yu has left. The elder apprentice also felt a sense of urgency in his heart. He quietly went to the training room. Begin closed-door cultivation. Lin Yu cultivates in the library. When I'm hungry, I let my clone go to the cafeteria to bring back food. He eats, drinks, and takes care of his needs. Basically, they are all in the library. The doppelganger of the library, studying puppetry, and the five elemental doppelgangers on stage. Then study the five elements formation. Ling Yu then closed his eyes to rest. Meditation practice. Deep within the turtle's beard. A young man dressed in blue. Dozens of long swords followed closely behind. As his thoughts settled, a flurry of long swords flew out. Nail a fierce beast to the ground. He gazed at the vast land. Do you really? Recently, many significant events have occurred. I have a feeling. A major event is about to happen in Guizhou. This turtle's whisker is a circular area. It is the weak point of the blue star space. Connecting all realms, beings from various realms, often attempts to go through the turtle's whiskers. Invasion of the blue planet. However, fortunately, the local forces of Langsing. Defensive forces were established along the Gishu line, the section of turtle whiskers guarded by the human race. He is the one guarding. The space in this area is more fragile. Monsters often invade. The fierce beasts he just killed. I just don't know which world it came from. That's it. Let's continue searching for that ninth-tier ferocious beast. If he were to sneak into our human territory, another disaster. He wanders among the tortoises' whiskers. Only kill beasts above level 6. Yesterday, I discovered a tier 9 ferocious beast, wounded by his sword. Panicked escape, ran towards the outside. Although this fierce beast is heavily injured, But the power should not be underestimated. If he is allowed to recover from his injuries, once again it has infiltrated the territory of the human race. This is a disaster. And the slaughter sword in his hand, gently lifted, bloody vengeful spirits flew out. The sword god shouted sternly, "Find him!" But all the vengeful spirits are howling, scattered in all directions, looking for that ninth order beast. On the other side, Lin Yu finally learned puppetry, finally learned it. Next, let Lin Fan come to Nanjing City. I handed him the gifted stone, but Lin Fan almost turned it into ruins. He has already run to. The novice went into the forest to hunt monsters. There are too many monsters to kill, even stirred the adventurers of inheritance. At this moment, he was sitting on a large rock, gnawing on a beast's leg. Adventurers watching from around. Everyone was discussing it. He is Lin Fan, Lin Yu's twin brother. It's wrong. He is Lin Yu's twin brother. They say that there are several brothers as well. Lin Fan's personality, not at all like Lin Yu. Lin Yu is ruthless. He jumped out. But both of them are ruthless killers. Killing monsters can be addictive. This is really twisted. What is he trying to do? How to pack up the luggage? He is leaving. Zhao moved in the direction of inheritance. No more monster hunting. Chapter 85. Lin Fan's arrival. Introduction to puppetry. The next day at noon. Lin Yu closed her eyes, still meditating and cultivating in the library. Suddenly, the watch in his hand, the sound of beeping echoed. At that moment, someone called him. Hearing the phone ring, he was puzzled. Who is calling? Open your eyes. Looked down. It turns out to be Lin Fan. Couldn't help but shake my head and smile. Clicked to answer. Lin Fan, main body. I have arrived in Nanjing City. His tone was urgent. Some are gasping for breath. You seem quite tired. It should have just arrived from the Void train, directly headed for Nanjing City. This place is 100 miles from Nanjing City. Let's have Lin Fan come over. He thought to himself. He doesn't want to leave the academy right now. Lin Yu, you left Nanjing City and headed south. The journey to the left and right of you mow by. A 10,000-meter high mountain will appear ahead. Arrive there. Stop at the foot of the mountain. Then send me a message. Wait for me to come down the mountain to see you. Lin Fan. Got it, the main body. I'm setting off now, for the sake of talent and wealth. He is also giving it his all. Feeling very anxious. But I'm already very tired. Hang up the phone and set off. He has been hunting monsters since yesterday. Received a call from the entity. So we headed straight to Nanjing City to board the Void train. He also went to the nearby big city. Just boarded the train. Got off the car. Onward without pause. Heading straight to Nanjing City. We hardly rested along the way. I'm really exhausted. However, thinking of soon we'll be able to obtain the talent bonus. He became excited, quickly stepped forward, walking towards the outskirts of Nanjing City. Leaving the city, the site of a primeval forest. He does not linger either, heading south all the way. Encountered a fierce beast on the road. If you can avoid it, then do so. The mountain where the Supreme Academy is located. It is 100 miles from Nanjing City. At Lin Fan's speed, more than an hour's time. We can make it in time. Lin Yu simply stopped meditating and cultivating, waiting for Lin Fan's arrival. How long has it been? Lin Fan just called. Arrived at the foot of the mountain. Lin Yu learned the news. Immediately leave the academy, walking down the mountain. Lin Fan saw Lin Yu. Very excited, he came up directly and gave a hug. "Bentai, I miss you so much. You have no idea what I've been going through these past few days." Lin Yu saw him, still looking like this, pushed him away. "Xiao Dao, all right. I know you're working hard. However, when we become the strongest, you can enjoy all the benefits of the world. At that time, do whatever you want. Isn't it exhilarating?" Lin Fan nodded repeatedly, and my mind could not help but imagine a scene from the future. Lin Fan said, "Bentai, I will definitely work hard. Future, we shall become the rulers of the blue star. Let the deities of all heavens bow down. We must strike down all disobedience, eliminate all evil, punish the wicked and promote the good. A clear sky and vast world. Do not allow evil people to continue to exist." Lin Yu smiled, following his words, said, "Correct. All of this. It will be realized in the future. Don't lose heart. Keep working hard." Lin Yu encouraged him once again. "Lin Fan, for the future, it's worth a shot." Eyes slightly red. "I wish time would leap forward. The next moment we will arrive in the future, witnessing their glorious moment with my own eyes." Lin Yu saw him lost in a daydream, shook his head. "Take out the gifted stone. Hand it to him. Here you go." Lin Fan first saw the gifted golden stone, suddenly became alert. He was extremely excited, hastily took it in hand, without waiting for Lin Yu to say anything. "Just use the gifted stone. Place it on your forehead and silently recite to activate." His heart pounding wildly. I fear it is because he is a doppelganger, unable to use the situation of gifted individuals. However, he was just overthinking everything. After a while, talent turned to stone. Create a beam of light, dove into the center of the brow. Feeling the gifted abilities, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. He closed his eyes, organizing the extra information in my mind. After a while, he opened his eyes, said, "The essence. But is puppet manipulation? It's good enough to have it. Aren't you lazy? From now on, you should hide. Let the puppet kill the monster." Lin Yu said. Lin Fan's went in. With that being said, what a great talent! He had long envied the way the main character fought monsters, hiding behind oneself. Everything is done by a substitute. He is so envious. Now, I will soon possess this ability as well. He was overjoyed inside, quickly showing filial piety. Only the original self understands me the most. The puppet manipulation talent suits me perfectly. Unfortunately, the range is too small now. With my mental strength, can only manipulate puppets within a range of 200 meters. 200 meters is actually quite a lot. After all, mental strength can be improved. The range of control will also increase. As Lin Fan's mental strength increased, the range of manipulation will continue to expand. But Lin Fan was even lazier than him. Lin Yu occasionally still goes to the battlefield. What Lin Fan wants is for people to be at home. The idle life of a puppet grinding monsters in the wild. However, he also knows it is currently impossible. It's not realistic. But the future is uncertain. Thinking about the future, he became excited. "Entity, I discovered a fatal problem. I don't have a puppet. According to the conditions of innate abilities, it must bear my psychic imprint. Only I can control the puppet." Lin Fan discovered this issue. Said, Lin Yu smiled and said, "Don't worry. The skill I give you, it is indeed puppet mastery. Currently, I am learning puppetry. It will probably take some time to learn. All right then. I will pass the puppet technique to you. You need to hurry. Learn a bit too. I hope to reduce the time spent on learning. After learning it, you can build an army of puppets." Lin Yu couldn't help but sigh. His talent is duplication. If Lin Fan's talent is also duplication, that will be fun. Unfortunately, talent is as rare as encountering gold and stone, and it cannot be sought. Having one would be great. We can only hope that the puppet's talent will give us some strength. He thought to himself, teach the puppet technique to Lin Fan. Lin Yu decided to go back. As for where Lin Fan is going, let him be. As long as he regularly completes the tasks assigned by Lin Yu regarding Lin Fan's whereabouts, he won't interfere too much. The 1 million task assigned to Lin Fan last time. Now it has been completed more than halfway, waiting for 1 million upgrade points. He plans to enhance his battle power. Now it's only third-tier combat power. It made him feel very insecure. Lin Yu advised, "You can hunt monsters nearby. You can also choose to return to the heartland of the human race. You choose for yourself, as long as you complete the task I assigned. Anywhere is fine. Main body. I haven't decided where to go yet. However, I want to first learn puppetry. Then I'll take my leave first," Lin Fan said. Go. Lin Yulian repeatedly waved her hand. He knew that Lin Fan wanted to learn puppetry as soon as possible, harness the ability of puppet manipulation. Lin Fan has left. Lin Yu's returned to. The academy continues its meditation practice. But just a few hours have passed. Lin Yu was taken aback. He suddenly stood up, exclaimed in surprise, "No way! Lin Fan learned puppet manipulation so quickly. He and a group of clones. Endless contemplation day and night. It feels like I haven't even touched the door. Lin Fan learned it in just a few hours." This left him stunned. Lin Yu suddenly received a piece of information in her mind. It is indeed the secret of puppetry. As long as you absorb this information, he will be able to comprehend the art of puppetry. And this information comes from Lin Fan. Lin Yu's heart was filled with surprise. I don't know if it's due to the talent of puppet manipulation. Lin Fan inherently possesses a strong talent for puppetry. Lin Yu's smile had yet to fade. Suddenly, he was surprised again. The 5 elements formation has also been mastered. Chapter 86. Practical application of the 5 elements formation. The devouring of life. Lin Fan is my lucky star. Lin Fan arrived. The 5 elements formation has also been mastered. Unfortunately, the concept of teleportation techniques. Still no clue. The technique of shadow teleportation is, he is in the mystical realm of the 3 highs inheritance. Proposed a skill concept, combining teleportation ability with the technique of creating clones. Realizing the self between avatars. The ability to teleport back and forth. Once the skill is successfully mastered, he can teleport silently. It doesn't have to be like it is now. There is always a delay with every teleportation. It's too easy to be caught off guard by a master. Let's put this skill aside for now. Silent extreme private action. I won't practice today. I want to go hunting. On one hand, enhance one's cultivation. On the other hand, let's test the 5 elements formation. Lin Yu looked at her peak cultivation at the 3rd stage. Shook his head. It's been so long. It's time to elevate to the 4th-tier station. Leaving the academy, heading towards the armory. He needs a flying device to help him on his journey. At the weapons depot entrance, Lin Yu placed the ID card on the sensing pad. First, detected student Lin Yu from the Supreme Academy. "What equipment do you need?" "Flying hoverboard," Lin Yu said. "First, the flying hoverboard is non-payable equipment. You can use it for free." A snap sound. The door to the armory opened. A robot walked over, handed the skateboard to Lin Yu. Lin Yu left with the skateboard, although there is a path leading down the mountain. But walking is too slow. He wants to fly over. This hunt, with my cultivation, returning is too dangerous. I might as well go hunting in the mountains. Between Nanjian City and the Supreme Academy, the mountains rise and fall. The forest is dense. There are many fierce beasts. Lin Yu and senior brother were on their way over. I deeply understand. However, the ferocious beasts here are incomparable to Guizhou. Much weaker. It is also much safer. With his current cultivation level, heading to Guizhou, it's still too dangerous. So, his destination for this trip, in this vast mountain range. He gave himself a plan. It is not deep. Be as cautious as possible. Perfect talent. Life should also be used up. Enhanced my depth. Since upgrading to S-class, I haven't devoured a fierce beast yet. This time, let me unleash my full power. Enhance your strength. Lin Yu clenched her fists, looking up at the distant mountains. Put down the skateboard. Turn on the switch. Suddenly, the skateboard shot out. Two streams of deep blue energy, carrying him down the mountain, flying steadily away. The speed is very fast. A few minutes later, he arrived at the foot of the mountain. No pause. He continued to maneuver the flying skateboard, maintain a distance of 100 meters. Towards the distance, a great mountain flew away, leaving the mountain where the academy is located. The mountains here appear quite petite. There are even very few towering mountains. This kind of mountain typically cannot bear fruit. A fierce beast. Lin Yu chose one of them, only a 1,000-meter high peak, flying towards the forest. Just flew to the sky. Then I heard a sharp and mournful bird cry. Lethal. Suddenly, a single lantern, a bird about 3 meters tall, rushed towards Lin Yu. Lin Yu saw this. Calm and unhurried, quickly maneuvered the skateboard, ascent to evade. But unexpectedly, the bird was relentless. Once again, it charged up. Lin Yu saw this. A cold light flickered in his eyes. Want to die. Just to fulfill you. A white light gathered in his hand. Suddenly, a bright platinum sword as a gift appeared in the palm. He wielded a large sword. He snorted coldly. This is still my first time with metallic energy. Concentrated weapons, although it still only has the strength of a single weapon. But look, is your neck stiff? My weapon is still sharp. A bird chirps once, spitting out a whirlwind, charging towards Lin Yu. Lin Yu was not willing to back down. Raised the big knife, manipulating the flying skateboard, charged towards the flying bird. In a world of one person and one bird, the moment we passed each other by, he suddenly drew back his large knife with another stroke of the sword. Before the flying bird could react, a line of blood appeared on the neck. With a thud, blood gushed out. Lin Yu slashed again with his sword. Suddenly, a beam of white light appeared through the neck of the flying bird. In the next moment, the bird lost its grip and separated. Rest in peace. Falling towards the ground. Lin Yu saw this. Control the flying hoverboard and go over, reaching out to grab the corpse of the flying bird. A black vortex appeared in his hand. Lifeblood. Hajj. His intense appetite made his eyes slightly red. The whirlpool in the palm, madly devouring the essence of bird life. A thread of life energy merged into his body. This moment, power, spirit, the physical condition is improving, but just a few seconds. The bird in my hand, only a pile of feathers and bones remain. Lin Yu threw away the feathers and bones in her hand. Is that so? Uh, this bird is too weak. I was only uplifted. 1% of physical fitness and strength. However, S-class life drain. The speed of absorption has increased significantly. The second-order bird. It can be finished in just 1 minute. Lin Yu developed a fascination for collecting beast corpses, extracting the essence of life, feedback on one's own thoughts. Boo-boo-boo. Suddenly, a loud growl came from the stomach. Lin Yu rubbed her belly, a sigh from the heart. This talent is indeed wonderful. The only drawback is that it easily stimulates appetite. Perhaps my constitution has improved. You need some food to replenish your energy. Lin Yu silently thought. This appetite is very strong, can drive a person insane. The idea of binge eating arises. If not alleviated and restrained, may become a puppet of appetite. However, as long as you don't consume too much at once. Using talent too frequently, life draws from itself. It will be fine after a while. At most, it will just make him a bit uncomfortable. Landon, manipulating the skateboard, landed in the forest. Lin Yu looked around, silently recited, "Doppelganger," a flash of white light. A total of 100 different colored clones, appearing all round. These 100 avatars. All are 5 elements clones. There are a total of 20 sets. They formed a team of 5, under Lin Yu's command, scattered in all directions. Lin Yu's found a good place to hide, directing the actions of the doppelganger at all times. Soon, the clone encountered a battle. However, under the attack of the doppelganger, these fierce beasts were easily dealt with. Its upgrade points are slowly increasing. Everything is going smoothly. It simply found a place, hid away, waiting for the clones to return from their mission. Suddenly, a loud noise echoed from afar. Lin Yu quickly projected her consciousness over. A 10-meter tall ape appeared. Zhang is carrying a large tree, waving frantically. Not only that, it waved while still roaring, as if the air before me, it is like its enemy. It is the 5 elements illusion array. Lin Yu saw 5 clones, surrounding distribution, with a special combat strategy, formed the 5 elements illusion array. But the ferocious beast before us, it was trapped by a formation, experienced a hallucination. Phantom array. Effect on the ferocious beast, surprisingly good. After a while, the beast finally grew tired. At this moment, 5 clones quickly change positions. The formation changed in an instant. This is the 5 elements sword formation. 5 elements sword formation can unite the power of 5 people, form a powerful attack. Suddenly saw, in the middle of 5 people, a powerful energy sword from all directions, charging towards the fierce beast. Fierce beast left arm right table, stabbed multiple times on the body, bleeding profusely. Soon I was exhausted, fallen and unable to get up, eventually struck by a great sword falling from the sky, pierced the throat. This formation is powerful. Lin Yu was also startled. This is just an ordinary formation. This created such tremendous power. What about those advanced formations? Just thinking about this, he became excited. I wish I could obtain a high-level formation immediately, wreak havoc everywhere. As the beast dies, in Lin Yu's mind, I also remembered the system's notification sound. Then, you killed the black back ape. Fourth stage. Upgrade points increased by 2,500. Lin Yu walked out. The clones instantly changed positions, formed the five elements shield formation. Lin Yu was protected. Lin Yu felt very gratified. This wave of clones is very clever. He walked in front of the black-backed baboon beast, using one's life to draw upon talent. Suddenly, the strong appetite caused him to furrow his brow, struggling to resist the urge to eat. On the back of the black gibbon, suddenly, pure streams of life energy, continuously flowing into the body. This moment, both physical and mental states are gradually improving, until no life energy flows in. All that remains are tufts of hair and bones. Lin Yu opened his palm. He rubbed his brow. My head feels a bit dazed. After resting for a while, just eased up. It seems using this talent. Pay attention to the frequency. Rubbing his temples, he murmured to himself, the matter here, just a little interlude. In this forest, there are many fourth-tier ferocious beasts, relying on the formation. A slightly weaker fourth-tier ferocious beast. Totally no match. At this moment, Lin Yu returned to a battlefield once again. Here, a giant snake covered in bone spurs, nailed to the ground by a large sword. The giant snake struggled for a while. Then life activity ceased. Nil, you killed the bone vein white snake. Fourth stage. Upgrade points plus 2,800. This giant snake of the skull vein, obviously much stronger than the black-backed ape. Lin Yu once again escaped in the same way. Shizen life drain, although it made him dizzy. But still I will hold on. Absorb the life energy of the giant serpent. Lin Yu's physical condition and spirit, reinforced again, devoured these fierce beasts. His shadow is already larger than when he arrived, increased by about 1/3. However, spiritual power, yet it only increased by less than 1/10. Now my doppelganger's control range. It's about 1,100 meters or so. Lin Yu's face lit up with joy. At that moment, his expression suddenly changed drastically. What's going on? A set of duplicates has disappeared. Lin Yulin quickly retrieved the memory of the disappearing doppelganger. After a while, suddenly showed a look of surprise. This place actually has fifth-tier ferocious beasts. Chapter 87. Power Enhancement. Fourth stage. Genius Treasure. Ice-breaking fruit. The doppelganger's death dissipated. Memories returned to Lin Yu's mind. He retrieved information from it. The result was found. They were killed by a giant rhinoceros monster. And this rhinoceros monster, it is indeed a 5-tier ferocious beast. What excited Lin Yu was this 5th-level ferocious beast protecting a strange little tree. A blue fruit is hanging on the little tree. Lin Yu glanced at the time, then looked up towards the direction of the beast. Almost there. He murmured to himself. At this moment, a notification sound echoed in my mind. The prompt sound is continuous. The speed of appearance is extremely fast. Lin Yu was slightly taken aback. Instantly thought of Lin Fan. Goodness, you arrived just in time, with the experience points provided by Lin Fan for killing monsters. Lin Yu's upgrade points are increasing more and more. How long has it been? He exclaimed with joy. Finally saved enough. System. Enhance my cultivation. Then, the host's cultivation is improving. Enhancement complete. Congratulations, host. Upgrade to 4th-tier combat power. The cultivation has just been completed. Lin Yu's spirit was instantly uplifted. Centered around him, the momentum surged all round, spread out, The wind blew through the surrounding trees. "Hurry up and make some noise." Lin Yu felt within her body the powerful force that came. It felt as if there was a sense of piercing through space. "The strength has increased by about 3 times." Lin Yu murmured to herself. Not only that, his mental strength, it has also increased by about double. Now his doppelganger, it can exist within a range of over 2,000 meters. This range, almost able to envelop the academy area beyond the back mountain. From now on, he has basically achieved it. A person sits at home. Knowledge falls from the sky. A life of passive gaming has begun. Lin Yu's mood was very good. Brothers, departure. He'll summon all avatars, walking towards the fierce beast. 100 avatars surrounding the area, forge weapons and armor, leaving with great momentum. When we arrived at the rhinoceros, the beast is not far away. Lin Yu stopped in her tracks. He ordered the clone to launch a probing attack, nods slightly, charging toward the fierce rhinoceros beast. Just entered the line of sight of the fierce rhinoceros. Then came a tremendous beast roar. Bird, pale. At the command, the clones quickly set up the formation. Suddenly, dozens of formations appeared on the scene. The 10 elements sword formation, the 5-element illusion array, 5-element shield array, a total of 20 formations, encompassing an area of several dozen meters. The 5 elements shield formation stands at the forefront. The 5 elements sword formation is in the center. The 5 elements illusion array is at the outermost layer. Suddenly, the formation begins. Strange waves of energy begin to influence the surrounding environment. Rhino beast discovered. Another wave of invaders has arrived. Rising fury. Open your mouth wide. Ash. Ice balls. Like a rapid-fire string of cannonballs. Shoot towards the clone. Pew, pew, pew. The ice ball attack on the Dun formation. Suddenly, a huge sound erupted from the collision. A wave of cold air scattered from the ice spear. The ground quickly formed a thin layer of frost. Suddenly, another even larger ice ball came crashing in. This time, Dun Jaigen's guest room. It just broke through 2 layers. Only 3 layers left. Counterattack. In the formation of the 5 elements sword. A giant sword. Falling from the sky, as if it were an infinite sword control. Like raindrops falling. Sleeping quarters. A radius of 10 meters. A forest of swords was formed. The fierce beast roared loudly. An energy shield appeared around him, protected the whole body. However, the giant sword seemed endless. A massive sword plunged into the shield. Let the shield sway precariously. It's about to get ugly. Suddenly, the ferocious beast no longer defends. Unicorn on the head. Flashes of icy light shimmered. With a thud, the unicorn suddenly charged. It turned into more than a meter long. Then, with long legs, angrily charged towards the doppelganger. Dun Jaishen immediately stand at the front. Great sword of the sword array. Attacks came one after another. Changed the camp to create an illusion. On the ferocious beast, suddenly several more wounds appeared. At this moment, the beast's horn, a thunderous impact on the battlefield. With a thud, it felt as if a balloon had been popped. The formidable defense of Dun Jaigen. It was easily pierced. The hidden spiritual realm, also slightly surprised. But he quickly commanded his clones to scatter, confronting the enemy with the formation of swords. A number of long swords, from a cunning perspective, constantly attacking. Good. The beast was cloaked in a shield of ice, but it was pierced once again. The sword formation once again enveloped the ferocious beasts. The fierce beast is tired, pursuing victory relentlessly. The fierce beast has finally grown weary. Lin Yu immediately ordered the clone to move forward, continue the attack. However, the fifth-tier ferocious beast has tough skin and thick flesh. It's not that easy to kill. Lin Yu gritted his teeth, issuing orders. Alpha clone, unleashing self-destruction. Order given. The clones of the phantom array and the instant array. The chaos no longer hinders the tremors. Compress the energy within. Charge towards the beast. When the energy in the body is compressed to its limit, they rush desperately towards the ferocious beast. Some were severed by the fierce beast with one kick, but with a loud bang it exploded. Let the beast's face be drenched in blood. In his limited wisdom, I really can't understand. Why do these humans prefer to commit suicide? We must also kill him. Okay. As he was injured once again, other clones rushed onto the beast. The fierce beast looked at the doppelganger hanging on its body. Angry roar. Want to get rid of. But the next moment, suddenly, a series of rumbling sounds echoed. One after another, the clones exploded, caused immense damage. An explosion at such close range. Even a fifth-tier ferocious beast also suffered fatal injuries. Suddenly, a giant sword lunges forward, slashed through the beast's throat. Pachai. Blood flows profusely, spurted out. The fierce beast suddenly collapsed to the ground, slowly dying. Determined, you killed the frost poison hornet. Fifth stage. Upgrade point. Add 1000. Whoop. Finally killed it. Death of the clone. A stream of information flooded into my mind. Lin Yu chose not to accept, but immediately replenished all the avatars. Defend all round. At that moment, Lin Yukai walked over. He walked to the frost poison horn. In front of you, unleash life drain. Suddenly, continuous flow of life energy, surging into the body, let his strength slowly rising. 5 minutes later, he looked at. Only a layer of skin and bones remain, frozen in ice. Poisonous horns. The gifted abilities were reclaimed. Strength has increased a bit. The current me, although still at the early stage of the 4th rank. But strength, constitution, the spirit is comparable. Reached the 4th tier peak. And the doppelganger, stronger than me by 50%. Although we are still a bit far from 5th tier combat power. But the 5th level ferocious beast we can also kill together. He rubbed his forehead, relieved a bit, a feeling of dizziness and confusion, muttering to oneself, enduring while absorbing life energy, caused a feeling of dizziness. He arrived, the guardian of the frost poison horn. Before the genius treasure, some fierce beasts will guard. In front of the genius treasure, waiting for the genius treasure to mature, there are still some. The ferocious beast possesses the ability to cultivate genius treasures from the earth. However, different from the legends. On this day, the heavenly treasures ripened. There won't be a golden light soaring into the sky, aromatic scents wafting for miles. Instead, it will bloom and bear fruit in a very low-key manner. The fruit before me. Lin Yu is just in the library of the academy. I've seen relevant introductions. Ice-breaking fruit, using the blood of ice attribute beasts as bait, cultivated and formed. The fruit contains rich ice energy. She is an awakena of the ice attribute, assisting with cultivation, even a talent for transformation. Excellent material, can be used as medicine. Key Lion Dan. It can also be taken directly. This ice-breaking fruit. There is another function. That is something that can assist people, understanding the skills of the ice element. I am really lucky. Came out for a trip. Strength enhancement is just the beginning. There's another treasure left. It's time to go back. Lin Yu glanced at the darkening sky. Take out the skateboard. Flying towards the academy. On the way back, he suddenly saw above the academy a brilliant blue energy shield appeared. Outside the academy, countless ferocious beasts rushed in from the boudoir. This is Shu Keo. Chapter 88. Duyan. Shiwan Shu Keo. It's just a small scale. Beep, beep, beep. The watch emitted a rapid sound. Lin Yu opened the watch, took a glance. Seeing the incoming call, clicked to answer. Senior brother. Where have you been? Lin Yu. I went out hunting. Can we still go back to the academy? Lin Yu is now filled with excitement. There is also unease. After all, his main body is still outside. Senior brother. It's all right. This longevity nest is under attack. It's just an everyday occurrence. Don't leave the academy gate. You walk the back mountain. I will open a small door for you. Lin Yu. Thank you, senior brother. I'll go back right away. Master brother. Then hurry up. Don't hang up the phone yet. Encountering danger. I will pick you up right away. Lin Yu. Okay. Senior brother. The two exchanged a few more words. Lin Yu immediately got up, riding the flying skateboard, flying towards the back mountain of the academy. In flight, he still glanced in the direction of Shu Keo. At this moment, countless ferocious beasts approached from the direction of Gui Zu. Along the mountain path, madly rushed up the mountain peak. I see a college blocking the way ahead, roaring immediately, attacking with red eyes. Some fierce beasts breathe out flames. Some ferocious beasts directly collide with the body. The abundance of ferocious beasts. At a glance, I can't see the boundary. The scale of this nest is enormous. I'm afraid there are about 100,000 of them. 100,000 fierce beasts charged. A fierce aura rushed over, led the beasts that originally lived in the mountains, shivering with fear, scattered and fled in all directions. Back mountain. On the journey through the spirit realm, I did not encounter any fierce beasts, mainly ferocious beasts. They are fiercely attacking the front of the academy, and did not go around to the back mountain. Arrived at the back mountain, elder brother sees the spirit domain. Immediately command to open a door. The next moment, the energy beam opened a slit. Ling Yu quickly walked in, just entered the academy. That sense of security suddenly returned. He looked up at the sky. Encounter countless flying birds and ferocious beasts. Using various skills. Mad attack energy beam. Seeing this scene, he felt a slight anger in his heart. Are these birds sick? He watched the Ling Yu lamp light up. Must stick to the protective shield. 3 questions in a row. Lin Yu's expression changed slightly. At that moment, a large number of ferocious beasts seemed to have realized something. One after another, they abandoned the energy attack, turned and ran off in another direction. Lin Yu observed the situation. Zhengjula, he showed a look of surprise. Said, Senior brother, beast tied. Retreat. Shixing shook his head. Said, no retreat. They just realized. Unable to break through the academy's protective shield, so they went to other places. What do you think of them? Crossing this great mountain, where will the next stop be? Senior brother gazed at the spirit realm, waiting for the response from the spirit realm. Nanjing City. Lin Yu said. The senior brother nodded. Not entirely correct. There are at least 100,000 of these ferocious beasts. Nanjing City is far from the academy, another 100 miles away, although not far, but not all fierce beasts. Everyone knows this place called Nanjing City. So most fierce beasts will scatter, entering this vast mountain forest between Guizhou and the southern frontier city. It is the endless mountain range, its vast expanse endless as far as the eye can see. Ling Yu suddenly realized, doesn't that mean this line? The road to return. The future is filled with danger. Master Brother glanced at Zheng, at the departing Shu Keo, laughing said, so, today they all came to visit. Of course, we must show our hospitality as hosts. Let them be buried here. All right. Make that road safer. Don't you think so? I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. It is called a theory. On the right path. You are truly a hospitable person. At this moment, the formation has undergone some changes. After the change in this formation, the Ling Yu has started to feel something, but it's not particularly clear. Until a force, a unique aroma spreads. He began to feel confused. This flavor of the spirit realm just feels something strange. The body shows no abnormalities, but this taste. After being detected by the ferocious beast, yet one by one their eyes turned red. By death, a fierce beast roared, eyes bloodshot, rushing crazily towards the academy. Its level of ferocity and madness, even more of a step up than just now. They are too lazy to even use their abilities. Fierce beasts, using his strong body, impact shield, knock, 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 boom, boom, boom. A series of huge, muffled sounds. Chi Academy. It also reached the ears of the two. Lin Yu said, Master Brother, when will we counterattack? This fragrance is very strange. It seems to attract ferocious beasts. The Supreme Academy can guard this place. Nearly 300 years. It's impossible for the sword god to guard alone. This academy is certainly not just for show. Not to mention it can fend off countless ferocious beasts. Together, the protective shield attacked. It was that strange scent that attracted the ferocious beasts. It was all things he had never heard of before. He still has a lot to learn. For him, Supreme Academy becoming stronger. The greater his help, the more nutrients he can absorb. Senior brother smiled and said, You suddenly asked so many questions. Curious baby. I'll answer you one by one. Let's start with the fragrance. In the eyes of the eldest senior brother, Lin Yu is a member of the future guardians of Guizhou. Given the talent he is currently displaying, the future is likely to surpass him. This turtle can't hold on. The human race became as if it were non-existent. Because this place, 9-level ferocious beasts often appear. Only a genius like the sword god, skillfully and effortlessly slay. If it were another 9th-rank human, at least it should last for 3 days and 3 nights. Only with talent can one achieve victory or defeat. As for Lin Yu, it has now been revealed. A talent akin to that of the sword god from years ago. So, no matter what, Lin Yu must confront Zun Academy, creating a sense of belonging, and giving a person a sense of belonging. The simplest way. Just be good to him. But it cannot be done without restraint. Being kind to someone. One must understand that raw rice brings favor, while cooked rice demands repayment. So, he is basically Lin Yu. Treat them as a genius. After all, he's not very reliable. Let him take over the sword god's position. He is not willing. Every day I go to Guizhou to hunt monsters. This is so boring. He originally thought his future fate, just like the master. I didn't expect Lin Yu to show up. This gave him a glimpse of hope. In the future, this monster-slaying task. Let's leave it to the junior apprentice. As for him, then continued to study the 6 arts. He explained, "This fragrance, it is a pill from the azure realm. The scent of this elixir can make the ferocious beast go into heat. The ferocious beast's intelligence remains hidden, doing things purely by instinct. For such courtship seekers, absolutely powerless." Lin Yu was taken aback. So it turns out it would be like this. No wonder he smelled it. This taste is not very appealing. But the fierce beast couldn't help it. It is indeed the name of the azure realm. He furrowed his brow. Last time, he had seen it in the news. Kanglin human race, in the Blue Star human clan, when Wanlin was attacked, threatening the Blue Star clan, ceding 3 cities. Otherwise it will be with Wanlin, joining forces to attack the Blue Star people, the human race of the Azure Realm. He's not a good person. It's probably another one. There is no overarching perspective, a group that enjoys infighting. After all, you teamed up with Wang Linji. Isn't that like trying to skin a tiger? On which day did Wang Linji entering your Azure Realm? You will have to face it alone. Wang Linji has arrived. When the time comes, it won't be that simple. What you once consumed, you must spit it all out twice as much. Standing from the observer's perspective, undoubtedly, the people of both realms working together is the best outcome. However, kicked by a donkey makes some bizarre actions. What is this called? The bystander light. The one involved is foolish. Chapter 89. Lin Yu, senior brother. I am being cautious. Dog. Zishu Keo brought along the master brother's wine gourd, always hanging at the waist. He didn't take it off. He didn't take another sip of wine. However, he always instinctively reached for the wine gourd at his waist, then realized something, retracted the hand again. He stifled the urge to drink. Continue explaining. As for Xu Zhao, if it's to be resolved, using the Academy's formation can kill them all in an instant. But that consumes too much energy. Not worth it. Moreover, such a grand birthday celebration is not worthy. Additionally, the formation of the Academy, we need the energy stone to sustain it. If used frequently, even in the Academy, cannot afford this huge expense. Supreme Academy, it all depends on him and the sword god to hold it up. Although funding from the cabinet is received every year, and also is billions in government funding each year, the sheer number surpassing any academy. But the rituals of longevity have become too frequent. The money spent on purchasing energy gemstones each year. If you don't save a little, the funding is still insufficient. So, whenever encountering a not too strong Shukeo, he won't activate the attack formation, but focuses on repelling instead, and the way to repel. It is often he who takes the field himself. The main issue is still their lack of manpower. Otherwise, how could we be subjected to this humiliation? Long ago, I carved out my own path. Lin Yu is lost in thought. Understood the reason. Dashixing. You need to take action. Looking at the terrifying beasts outside, he asked in confusion. Senior brother laughed. I'll make my move later. I still don't know. What are the specific details about this fierce beast? Lin Yu did not continue to ask, but waiting. Finally, waited for about 10 minutes. A sound resonated across the academy. First, after testing, this birthday celebration. Why you Liu Jai Shu Zhao? Determine the danger level. Weaker. Warm reminder. Awaken beings below the 7th tier. Try to avoid going out. I'd actually forgot. The detection function of the intelligent system is operational. Lin Yu made a self-deprecating joke. Xiao Dao. The senior brother laughed as well. Now it's confirmed. There are no fierce beasts above the 7th rank. Let me take action next. Let's fend off this little invasion. Elder brother has changed from before. Scattered state. He drew the long sword that had been hanging at his waist. Looked seriously outside. Wait for me here. Wait for my return. Speak. He walked towards the outside. Lin Yu saw this. Where would you want to stay in the academy? The fierce beast outside. But all of these are upgrade points. He blocked senior brother. Said, Senior brother, I can go to the battlefield too. I am now standing at the 4th level. He unleashed his momentum. Shikshin was a bit surprised. The further you go, the harder cultivation becomes. Especially the 3rd tier breakthrough to the 4th tier. 6th level breakthrough to 7th level. The difficulty is particularly high. He couldn't help but think back to the beginning. He spent half a year. Just broke through this bottleneck. As for Lin Yu, it was so easy to break through. Could it be his doppelganger? It can not only speed up the cultivation process, it can also help break through bottlenecks. Upon thinking of this, he shook his head vehemently. Impossible. This is just too incredible. To know. He just has an S-level talent. If Lin Yu knew his inner thoughts, I will definitely complain. If it's really as you said, that's good. Then he would be invincible. The final senior brother still couldn't resist Lin Yu. Let Lin Yu go out with him. Just the two of them. When I reached the entrance of the academy, Lin Yu suddenly stopped. Why aren't you leaving? The senior brother questioned, looking at Lin Yu's appearance. He thought Lin Yu had changed her mind. Instead, it gave rise to a sense of disappointment. His talent is also related to what he encounters. However, it is not the unstoppable sword of the sword god, but rather the sword of free will. But no matter what, he still saw the talent. Inevitably, one must be touched by the spirit of the sword. Lin Yu's last-minute withdrawal behavior. He didn't feel any aversion in his heart. I'm still a bit disappointed. However, the next moment, it left him momentarily stunned. A flash of white light appeared. 105 elements clones appeared all round. The senior brother discovered that these clones were divided into 5 types. Some have blue hair, blue clothes. Some have red hair, red clothes. There are a total of 5 categories. This shocked him. He silently thought to himself, Junior disciple, you've learned a new skill again. It was still created by himself. It shouldn't be a skill created by oneself. He shook his head, denied this idea. He believes Lin Yu must have had an extraordinary experience. Or perhaps they have realized a new innate skill. After all, creating original skills is too difficult. It's not something just anyone can accomplish. Lin Yu smiled and said, Master brother, I won't go out. Let my double do the work. As the voice fell, suddenly senior brother was stunned. He glanced at the avatar beside Lin Yu. Once again, I looked at my lonely self. Suddenly, a sense of loneliness arose. Next comes envy. Why should I envy him? Master brother shook his head. I was more determined to give Lin Yu the nickname Old Dog. Brothers, kill. Lin Yu stood still. Counted. The duplicates heard the command. Quickly gather weapons and armor. 5 people formed a small team, walking out towards the academy. Senior brother's expression was strange. Junior brother, Aren't you going to experience the fun of monster hunting for yourself? Lin Yu glanced at him, shaking his head repeatedly. No need, no need. I hold compassion in my heart. I don't like killing. Seeing Lin Yu like this, the senior brother only felt a wave of helplessness. This is too dog-like. That's all. Forget about him. Let's quickly resolve the Xu Zhao matter first. The clone stepped out of the protective shield first. The senior brother followed closely behind. Lin Yupan sat cross-legged. Focus your consciousness on one of the avatars. Observing the outside world, the doppelganger and the senior brother just arrived. It attracted the attention of countless fierce beasts. But the group of ferocious wild boar-like beasts with sharp tusks, breathing out white mist, crazy charging forward, avatar sword clash, immediately set up the 5 elements shield formation. The formation is set up, a series of protective energy barriers, surrounded by darkness. Rummel, rummel. The wild boar-like beast exhaled white mist, blood-red eyes. Suddenly crash into the 5 elements shield formation. The wild boar beast was sent flying out. The shield formation then shattered. Arrange the 5 elements sword formation. Lin Yu immediately gave the order. As the command was issued, the doppelganger begins to take action. Before long, the formation of the 25-element sword array has been completed. A surge of sharp, converging power, surrounding everywhere. At Lin Yu's command, all the clones begin to unleash this power. In an instant, dozens of giant swords fell from the sky, left and right. Crazy shootout. The sound of breaking through the air came. The sound of whooshing filled the air. A massive sword, piercing the wild boar, beast-like creatures. But a fierce beast is severely injured. Let out a heartbreaking scream before dying. However, their cries did not last long. Just a multitude of giant swords descending from the sky, stabbed to death on the spot. Meanwhile, Lin Yu's mind, the system's alert sounds kept coming. Set. You killed the 3rd tier. Fierce beast with fangs hunts boars. Upgrade points increased by 600. Determined. You have killed the 3-tier ferocious beast, the double-legged black horse. Upgrade points increased by 500. Determined. You have killed. Chapter 90. Beast's Nest Sound. The sword god strikes down the 9th-tier ferocious beast again. There's still tonight. At this moment, somewhere not far from Supreme Academy in Guizhou, 100-meter tall beast, confronting a blue figure. Suddenly, this ferocious beast appeared. There is a 3-meter long horn growing from the middle of the head. On either side of this big horn, there are 2 small antlers that are only 7.5 inches long. Around its neck, having meat wings that resemble a fan, covered a length of over half a meter. Its form is gigantic, standing at a height of 100 meters, hundreds of meters long. Its back is covered with bony spines, like a sharp long sword, resembling a prehistoric triceratops, but even more ferocious, fearsome. At this moment, the fierce beast showed a menacing expression, but he is slowly retreating. If you look closely, you can see his back. There is a huge wound. Blood is flowing. The young man across the way, rosy complexion, no signs of fatigue at all. Suddenly, the young man's hand moved. Nefarious beast, you doomed, with a sharp voice of reprimand ringing out. The sword in hand was instantly swung out. The sword's body is invisible to the naked eye, cannot see the sword light either. But next moment, a whirlwind suddenly rose into the air. This is the mark left by the sword's light. Then the fierce beast roared, 3 legs on top of the head, Blue beams of light lit up. A wall of ice stood before me. When the sword light struck the icy wall, a loud crashing sound echoed. A snap sounded. The ice wall cannot withstand the sword's light. Shattered into pieces. The sword light presses forward unwaveringly. A sword pierced the beast's left eye. Good. The beast's pain let out a fierce roar. Its voice was piercing, chilling. At that moment, the young man walked a few steps forward, muttering to oneself, "If you are determined to escape for your life, I will make it quick for you. You should never have. Start this tide, because I really hate getting damp. So I will make you die in the 10th sword." Hearing the words of the youth, his gaze dimmed. Suddenly, the surrounding air began to thicken. The energy of the ferocious beast rapidly compresses. I want to self-destruct. It must also pass the approval of my sword. He was expressionless. Raise your hand. A sword aura was unleashed. The sword energy pierced through the air, piercing through the belly of the beast. Pierce through the gathered energy. This is the second sword. There are still 8 swords. The young man takes a step forward each morning. Just swing the sword. The ferocious beast roared mournfully. But the next 8 swords pierced his right eye, forehead, 5 limbs, 3 horned unicorns. The final sword was 100 meters long, falling from the sky, light exploding grass. Cut the beast in half from its back. Alas, the fierce beast let out its last cry, a cry of sorrow and lament. But the young man was used to such things. Not a ripple stirred in my heart. I am not tired. Their hearts must be different. No need to hold back. Otherwise, you will suffer the consequences. This is his experience of 300 years. Prove the truth of this statement. It has also shaped his current personality. With a wave of the hand, the ring in hand glowed softly. The fierce beast, transformed into a beam of light, was trapped inside the ring. This is clearly a spatial ring. He touched the spatial ring, glanced in the direction of the academy. After seeing the scale of Shuzhou, he laughed. "It's up to you two now. Speak up." Flying towards the depths of the boudoir. On the other side, outside the academy, Lin Yu's doppelganger, relying on the 5 elements formation, wreaking havoc everywhere. Under siege, the 5-tiered beasts must hide their resentment on the spot. Lin Yu also gained a lot of upgrade points. In just these few minutes, he gained hundreds of thousands of upgrade points. He hurriedly elevated his cultivation level. He has now reached the pinnacle of the 4th level of cultivation. The next step is the 5th level. However, the upgrade points required for the 5th level. Too much. Upgrade to level 5 combat power and enhance talents. Upgrade points needed for S+. It's the same. It requires a full 5 million. Lin Yu enhances her cultivation. After reaching the 4th tier peak, I plan to upgrade my talent clone next. As for combat power up to the 5th rank, we'll have to wait for the next time. This time, we can fight monsters in the academy. For Lin Yu, it's a good opportunity, with the elder brother's slight arrangement. Beasts of 5th tier and above can't even get in. Lin Yu's clones are highly efficient at defeating enemies. It is also very brutal. First, use the 5 elements formation to defeat the enemy, encountering the unbeatable. Then unleash self-detonation, mutual destruction. Suddenly, sounds of explosions echoed. A roar echoed among the wild beasts. Countless fierce beasts hide in resentment. Junior apprentice, your move is quite ruthless. Da Shikshan watched the self-destructing clone, exclaimed. Lin Yu did not respond. but continue to make up the number of clones. Join the battlefield. Suddenly, a sixth-tier beast charged over. Seeing this, the senior brother raised the sword in hand. Just swing it over. But before he could swing his sword over, a group of sixth-tier flying birds swooped down, knocked down the unprepared senior brother. There are more than a dozen birds flying, and they all have sixth-tier battle power. Tackled the unsuspecting senior brother. There are at least a dozen birds flying. Moreover, they all possess sixth-tier battle power.